Progress.
Okay, so I'll get started here, and if people are late, that's fine. I'll just have to let them in, so bear with me. My name is Brady. I am your account manager over at QuickBuy. So welcome and thank you everyone for being here. This is the certification training. So this is actually one of 3 trainings that we now have. The one after this one is more of an advanced training that we're offering to certified agents. I will actually be in town next Tuesday and Wednesday, so I'll be at your sales meeting, and then we'll be doing marketing training and then a advanced training after that on Wednesday with breakfast at 9 and then 10:15. So you guys are all welcome to come to that, and I hope you do. But this one is going to be the certification training, and this is the training that you need to be able to offer new solutions to your sellers. So I'm going to share my screen with everyone. So if you could just let me know that you can see the PowerPoint that I'm pulling up, that would be awesome. Can you guys all see that? Oh, great. Okay. So before I get started going here, I want to make sure everyone's on the same page. Are you, and you guys can feel free to type in the chat or unmute yourselves, whatever you feel comfortable with. Are you guys familiar with, or have you heard of iBuyers? Or are you pretty unfamiliar with them? I know you're in the Midwest, I am too. So we get marketed to by them, but they haven't quite entered our market yet out here, but they're starting to. So I'll just briefly go over who they are. Basically, they're nationwide companies. They're spending a ton of money. By a ton of money, I mean like millions of dollars on advertising, and they're going direct to consumer. So they're going direct to consumer. They're getting a ton of seller leads, and then they're purchasing properties from sellers for cash, because I means instant or immediate offer. So that's what it stands for. They've openly said they're trying to cut agents out of the deal, and they've tried to do so in certain markets. And they're just getting bigger and bigger. So QuickBuy is a type of iBuyer. However, we have a different model and platform. Thank you for everyone who responded in the chat. We partner with brokerages to help empower agents such as yourself to bring immediate offer solutions to sellers. I was an agent myself for 8 years before I started working for the company, and I still carry my license, but it's in holding at the moving station, which is the company that QuickBuy umbrella is under. So I am familiar, and I'm sure you're all familiar with the traditional listing. That is still the #1 way that, you know, a seller is going to choose to sell their property. However, you now have 3 new options to present to your sellers at your listing appointments. And those are the QuickBuy immediate offer, which is going to be exactly what it sounds like. It's an immediate offer delivered to you within 2 business days. The seller can close on their timeline, so they can close in 14 days or they can close in 60 days, but it allows them the flexibility to pick their close date. The QuickBuy Lock Guaranteed Sale is going to be taking that same immediate offer and locking it in, or putting it on the back burner, and then listing the home with you on the market for 150 days to see if they can make top dollar for the property. So that's kind of the best of both worlds for the seller. And then the lease back is an add-on to the other 2. So if we purchase the home from the seller and they need to stay in the home for as little as they need, they can lease back from us. So now going into your listing appointments, you shouldn't be going in, am I going to get this listing? You should be going in, I'm going to get this listing because I can now provide a solution for any situation that my seller's in. So the reason we partnered with your brokerage and brokerages around the nation is to help agents stay relevant. Sellers are becoming aware, because of all the advertising, that there is more than one way to sell a home, and there's not only the traditional way anymore. So instead of them Googling or going to these other companies and asking for an offer, we want you to be able to deliver these solutions to your sellers so they don't need to go anywhere else. This is also an excellent lead generation platform. So what we want you to do is use these solutions to solidify yourself as the agent. We offer a ton of marketing material. You have branded marketing material from us in your intranet. I actually just talked to Elise earlier today, and she's working on the new ads we created for the ambassador new logos. But we offer, you know, postcards, social media ads, print ready flyers, door hangers, tons of things that you can use and just customize to yourself to grow your business and stop paying for referrals if you're doing so right now. And even ways that aren't paying for, just talking to people at open houses, talking to your sphere of influence. This is a way to reach out to people and just have conversations and build relationships. There aren't any other agents in your area, and from what it sounds like, there aren't any other iBuyers. So you are quite literally the only ones right now around in your zip codes who can provide these solutions. So obviously, if you're generating more leads and you're talking to more people and you're following up and growing those relationships, you guys are going to close more business and you're going to help more people. So a little bit about the moving station, which again is the father company to QuickBuy. We were started by a third generation broker. Most of the people here, I would say 90 to 90% are or have been agents and still hold their licenses. But we started in senior and corporate relocation. So we started moving, seniors who needed help getting the homes sold, and then people who needed to move out of state for business. We helped them move on a timeline and then lease back if they needed to. So about 12 years ago, we did realize that those were not the only types of sellers that needed these solutions. So we were actually one of the national iBuy innovators. In 2019, we actually partnered with Zillow. I'm sure you've heard of them. But they were offering Zillow instant offers, and they came to us and said, will you be our investor? And, we said yes, and we had a successful partnership for a bit. However, they wanted us to use their Zestimate to come up with our offers. And I'm sure you all know, if you've ever taken a look or done a listing presentation, the Zestimate is not an accurate portrayal on what a consumer's home is worth. So we kind of said, no, thank you. We have asset managers here that are looking at a national MLS database. We're looking at inside photos that agents are sending us, and we're coming up with the most likely sale price based on actual comparable properties and people who have been agents who know what they're doing. So we parted ways with Zillow. We've been pretty successful since then. 2022, over 8% of sellers who we sent offers to, well, we send them to the agents, but of the agents' sellers, 8% actually last year accepted our immediate offer. So, and that was one of the fastest moving real estate markets that we've ever seen. It was kind of crazy. So we were pretty impressed with that number, and we expect that number to be higher this year. So we are business to business, which means we never go direct to consumer. You probably, before we partnered with Ambassador, had not heard of us, and your sellers most definitely have not heard of us. So we're designed by agents for agents. And again, we're never going to go directly to consumer. It's just not our model. It's all about your brand. It's all about your listings and your leads. The only time we would talk to your sellers is if they wanted to take our immediate offer. And then obviously, most importantly, it's all about your commission. We do not dictate or take any of your commission. You let us know what that is in our QuickBuy app, which I'll go over here later in the presentation. And whatever split you have with your company, all of that remains the same. And we don't take any referral fees or anything like that. So iBuyer objectives, they're trying to capture leads. Last year, they purchased 160 properties. I believe now it's a little more than that. But what's really important here is the 5 million buy-sell leads that they paid for, that their marketing paid for. That just shows there's a huge demand for this. There's a huge demand for iBuy solutions. So again, lead generation, use this as a lead generation tool to capture those leads instead of paying for leads. These are just some of the ads that the bigger companies have used in the past, and some of the bigger companies who have in the past offered iBuy solutions. Like I said, Zillow is no longer offering instant offers, and neither is Redfin. Open Door, if you pay attention to the real estate or iBuy news, they lost over $1 billion last year for a few different reasons. They were using computer AVM models to put in offers that were higher than they should have been. So then when they tried to sell, they lost money on those. And then because of their fine print, they tricked people on what they were actually charging them. So they said, it was 5%. It ended up being, a much higher number than that. So they were sued by some of the people who they bought homes for. But what we like to say here is there's no way you can suffer $1 billion loss if there's no demand. So we know the demand's there. The money they've spent on marketing proves it. And we have the models and the people in place. So we are acquiring properties, and then we know what to do with them. So why is this happening? Why is this shifted into the real estate market? And it's because our habits have changed as consumers. We are used to now Amazon, Grubhub, Instacart, DoorDash, et cetera, being able to click on a button and get something delivered to our doorstep, for a fee. People are getting used to speed, convenience, certainty, and safety, and that's what they want. Another industry that I can say from personal experience that this has kind of tipped over into would be the car industry. So 2022, my old car, the brakes went out and it just needed a lot of work and I had a lot of mileage. So I decided to sell it. And I, did some research on how to sell it on the private market and what I would need to do. And, what I would need to do is get the car detailed, keep it clean, which I struggle with doing, post it on all the websites that have people looking at cars, figure out what it's worth, take incoming calls, have to, accommodate showings and people wanting to see the property. I am in Chicago, so who knows if I had to deal with someone who's not sane. It just seemed like a lot of work for me. So I drove into CarMax and I drove away the same day with a new car. And I lost a little bit of money, but to me, it was fast, it was convenient, and it was worth it to drive away that same day in a new car. And that's what we're finding is happening with not a lot, but some sellers don't want to get the house market ready. They don't want to have to get out for showings. There's just a lot of energy, effort, and money that comes into selling a home. So interestingly enough, 77% of sellers want to at least know what their iBuy value is. This in no way means 70% of sellers are going to choose immediate solutions, but they want to get handed that envelope full of cash saying, what can I get for my property? Not having to get it market ready, not having to do showings, not having to do open houses, not having people traipse through my house, not having to get the kids and pets out of the house. They want that envelope full of cash that says, this is the easy button. What can I get for it? So I can say another personal example, when I sold my condo in 2021, when, prices started skyrocketing, if someone had come to me and asked, do you want to see a free, no obligation offer, what you can do without doing anything to your property? I 100% would have said yes. I was financially motivated. So, whether I would have gone with it or not, I don't know, but I would have wanted to see it. It's free. So we're seeing that with more and more sellers. And 90% of people still want to list with you, the agents. So we're trying to bring the 77% of people who want to know the iBuy value and that 90% together, whereas other iBuyer companies are trying to push those numbers apart. So now I'm going to go into a little more detail on these and provide some examples on sellers who this might be a perfect fit for. If you can think of any off the top of your head who you've worked with, who other people have worked with, or who you're working with, please type them in the chat. I would love to know your examples. So the QuickBuy immediate offer, it's a convenient immediate offer on a qualified home. We can close for the seller in as little as 14 business days. If they need more time, they can choose between 14 and 60 days. This is for people who need flexibility or they want to be a stronger buyer. This is for, senior corporate relocation, which is how we started. People who might have estate sales that are living out of state. People who might be going through a divorce, or people who just are working from home and they can't get out. Maybe they're on Zoom meetings like I am all day. I work in an office, but if people do that at home too. Or people who might just have small children and pets who it's hard to keep the house clean and it's hard to get them up during nap time or when they're going to bed, etc. Moving on, the QuickBuy lock is taking that immediate offer and locking it. So putting it on the back burner and then listing the home with you on the MLS for 150 days to see if they can get top dollar. So it's kind of the best of both worlds for the seller. Anytime during that 150 days, if they want to take our offer, they can, or they can sell traditionally if they can get more. So some types of sellers are going to be people who are sitting on the fence. They're not really sure if they want to list or not. People who might be looking for their next purchase. So obviously contingent offers are kind of at the bottom of the totem pole. We all know that as agents. But if they haven't found that home yet, they can list the home, lock that guaranteed sale. When they find that home, if they haven't gone under contract traditionally, you can reach out to the listing agent and say, listen, I know we're contingent, but we have a certain guaranteed sale. We can close in 2 weeks. So technically we're not contingent. I can show you that contract. So that's for people who might be looking for, their next home. And then the QuickBuy leaseback is, again, it's an add-on to the other two. So it's a convenience for the seller. If they need to lease back the property from us for as long or as little as they need, they can do so. This is for people who might be building new construction, because construction builders will not accept contingent offers, or people who are doing renovations on their next purchase and don't want to move in until it's ready, or people who just need a little more time to move. So they don't want to close and then move the same day. These are some examples. These aren't examples. These are some of our success stories. So these are homes that we've successfully purchased and then sold. As you can see, there's a wide variety of price ranges, a wide variety of states. But what you will see here and what is common is all of these homes are in good condition. We are not your We Buy Ugly Homes solution. We are not flippers. We're not looking to offer 60 cents on the dollar to buy a property, flip it, and list it for an astronomical price. We are looking for sellers who need these solutions. This is not a solution for the home. This is a solution for the seller. We will buy these homes directly from the seller and then list them with you. So keep in mind, you are going to be listing these homes. And if it's an unsellable home, you will not be able to sell it. So we're looking for those middle of the market homes that we can buy, maybe do a little bit of cosmetic work, maybe a little updating if it's going to increase the value, and then list with you as quickly as we can. We take townhomes and condos, but we need to make sure, the seller needs to make sure that the HOA accepts corporate ownership, because we are a corporation who will be taking over. And the seller needs to make sure that if they need the lease back, that HOA accepts rentals. So moving on to qualifications, most homes will qualify. What we need, that's the most important thing, is information. So we need comps and we need conforming properties. We're not looking for unique homes or really customized homes for that seller's particular preference. We need properties that are in the same condition, the same age, the same price range, that have sold recently, to be able to come up with a fair market offer, or what we think is going to be the most likely sale price. So another way to look at conforming is, if you're submitting us a really outdated home and there's nothing but new construction or homes that were built after 2020, and this home was built in the 1920s, we don't have enough information to write an offer on that. Another example would be if you're submitting $1 million home and there's nothing that's sold around it for over 500,000, there's not enough information to submit an offer. So we do need information, we need data, we need comps and conforming properties. We don't have a ceiling. We do purchase properties that are in the millions, but we have a floor. Just doesn't make sense for us to purchase anything worth under 100,000 in the current market condition. And then we do not take properties that have been listed in the past 6 months. So if your seller wants to go with these options, they have to make that decision before the property hits the market. This is for 2 reasons mainly. One, the seller probably has an unrealistic expectation of what the home is worth if it's not selling. I think we've all probably dealt with that. And 2, if the home is not selling, there's something about it that's making it unsellable. And we are looking for sellable homes that we can turn around and list with you as quickly as we can. So we also do not take multifamily or commercial properties. We don't take lots. We don't take properties over 5 acres, and we don't take properties that are in flood zones. All of this qualifying criteria is going to be in the QuickBuy app, so you can write it down, but it's in our app. So listing presentations, just like when you first did your listing presentation, when you became an agent, you didn't really know what you're doing. It's a little unnerving, it's a little scary, but the more and more you practice, the easier it gets and the more comfortable you are. It's the same with presenting these solutions. There's a lot of information that I'm going to go over, and you might not know, exactly what to say to the seller. But when you present these, just, you can tell them, it's my first time doing this, but this is what my company is offering. You want to see these solutions? It's free. There's no obligation. And then the more and more you do it, it's going to get easier. So you probably all have your own listing presentations. So we're not asking you to change anything about that. We just would like you to incorporate these new solutions. So your seller can choose which of these options is, best for them. So discovery. When we work with buyers, we do a ton of discovery. You know, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, do you need a yard? Do you need a certain school district? What's your timeline? How many kids do you have? Do you need a pool? Do you need a basement? I mean, there's endless questions we ask buyers. But I find that a lot of agents go into listing presentations and, you know, their immediate thing is, I am the best agent for the job and I'm going to get you the most money. And that is great. And that is what most sellers do want. However, there is a niche of people who are in a situation where they're not just financially motivated. And they're not going to feel comfortable telling you if they're in a situation where they could use one of these options if they don't know you can offer a solution. So keep in mind, there is no fee, there's no obligation to request an offer package. You are just literally providing solutions for the seller. You're saying, we can list traditionally if that's the route you want to go. I have an immediate offer. I have the lock option if you want to test the market. And then if you need it, there's the lease back. And then you're putting those in front of them and then saying, what's the best decision for you? If they're not interested, then that is totally fine. Take the listing opportunity. You are right there in front of them. This is an example of what you're going to see when you download the app. So before you go on a listing presentation, you're going to pre-qualify the home. It's going to ask you the same qualifying questions I just went over with you. There will be some optional questions that you can answer. That's going to be, what do you think the home will sell for? What do you think will deter the home from selling? What do you think will help it selling? And you're free to send us comps if you have any. I would always recommend sending comps, but you don't need to. You're going to fill out the seller information and the property information, and that's going to tie you to that property. And then the photos and the information on the home is the last thing you're going to fill out. So when you're taking photos, we do not accept MLS photos and we do not accept seller photos. Those are designed for the buyer. Although we are the buyer, we want to know what we're purchasing. So please be as informative and transparent with us as possible and show us the condition of the home. Show us, you know, if there's anything wrong with the home, we want to know that. We will have an inspection. So we want to know these things going in so we can work them into the offer. If the home qualifies and the seller is interested, we will send you a offer package. It's going to have a couple of different things in there. The most important things to you and the seller are going to be the first 2 pages and the last page. First 2 pages are going to be the offer letter. That is going to have what the immediate solutions are and the traditional sale as well as the lock option. It's also going to have what the seller will net estimated with a traditional sale, what that most likely sale price is, what the seller will net, and then what the seller will net with a quick buy immediate offer, and then the options for the lock. So if your seller is choosing to go with that lock option, they clearly want to get more than what the most likely sale price is. So we will give the seller a cap on what they can list it at. And I'll just explain this using the easiest example I can think of. If we think the home will sell for $300,000, we will say there's a cap the seller can list at, which is $330,000. If the home does not sell within 30 days, because again, you have 150 days to sell the home. If you don't go under contract to in the first 30 days, the seller has to agree to price reductions every 30 days for 90 days. So until you get back down to that 300. So 30 days, don't go under contract. It's going to lower to 320, then it'll lower to 310, then down to that 300. And that's designed to help you and have the seller agree to price reduction so you can sell the home. So the quick buy cost comparison, that's also going to be very important for you to go over with the seller. It's going to show the net on a traditional sale estimated and the net on a quick buy sale estimated. Obviously, we don't have the exact numbers. And then the comps will also be in there that we used and whether they're superior, inferior, or comparable. So what I mean when I talk about the net, and I'm sure you guys know what I mean, but sellers like to think in gross. When I would go on listing presentations, I would always bring a net sheet. And I would sit down with my seller and I would say, you know, listen, we're going to list your home at X amount, 200,000. You got to take all these fees into consideration because there's a lot of fees when it comes to selling a house. There's commission, there's closing costs, there's carrying costs, there's getting the house market ready. I want my seller to not be disappointed and to know exactly what they're walking away with in their pocket at the end of the day. So we are very transparent about numbers here at QuickBuy. We want the seller, we want you to understand exactly what those numbers are. So when the seller is comparing the traditional net price to the quick buy net price, that is the cost of convenience. That is the difference in those two nets and what the seller is willing to pay should they choose a quick buy immediate offer. So now I'll give an example just with some percentages to make it easier to understand. With a traditional sale, you're going to charge whatever you charge for commission. You're going to let us know what that is. We're just going to use 6% for this example. The cost of ownership, which sellers and some agents do not think about, include market ready costs, which is nationwide 1 to 2% of the purchase price. Some people spend more, some people spend less. Carrying costs, mortgage insurance, seller concessions, if traditionally the buyer asked them for any credits or to fix things. So those two added together are going to be 10 to 12%. And then there are closing costs, but we do not include those in here because we're nationwide. I don't know what the closing costs are there. I only know what my closing costs are here in Illinois, and that's estimated. So I would recommend doing a seller net sheet with your sellers. The QuickBuy immediate offer, again, your commission is included in that. You let us know what that is. In the paperwork, we refer to it as the resale fee. That resale fee we're holding on to, and it's going to you when you list the home with us or for us. We do charge fees. We have to make somewhat of a profit, so we do charge 9 to 11%. Honestly, we pocket about 5% of that because we have to get the house market ready, and the home usually takes about 60 to 120 days to sell. There also is a $7.95 admin fee just across the board with any transaction. So those added up equal 15 to 17%. So the difference between these two, again, these are the net numbers, are going to be 5 to 7. And like I said, the seller likes to think in gross, but if they think in gross with the traditional sale and they compare it to the net with the quick buy, it's not going to be apples to apples. That's going to be a huge difference. So they need to understand the traditional net so they can understand the quick buy net and what the difference is between those. So with the lock assurance, we do charge a 1% additional fee. It's due from the seller at closing. That is because we have to lock those funds. We have to have them available if at any time during that 150 days, the seller wants to take our offer. So that is an extra cost of convenience. So we do tack that onto the percentages. That is due whether the seller chooses to go with the quick buy offer or whether they choose to sell traditionally to a regular buyer. And then the quick buy leasebacks are 1% of the sold price per month calculated daily. So $100,000 property is going to be leased out $1,000 calculated daily, 200,000, 2,000, etc. So yeah, in these higher end properties, it can get a little pricey, but they're not having to pay for moving twice, finding a short-term rental, storage, etc. So once the seller decides what is best for them, what are their needs, and is the cost of convenience worth it to them, they're going to let you know. If they decline the quick buy offer, that is fine. Again, most people are going to choose to list traditionally. You are right there in front of them to take that listing opportunity. So I would not recommend emailing this offer package to the seller. It's going to overwhelm them. It's going to confuse them. They're only going to be really interested in the first 2 pages and the last page, which shows all the fees. So you should be sitting down with them and going over those documents. There is someone, Paula, who works for our company. She's a real estate professional. She's a managing broker for 30 years. Any offer that goes out to any agent in our partners, she calls them to go over the offer right after they receive the offer. So if you guys have questions or you need help with delivery or you don't know how to deliver it to the seller, she will help walk you through that. So this is what happens after the seller if they accept the quick buy immediate offer. The home is purchased by us. So at this particular stage, and this is the only time, we would go directly to the seller if you tell us they want the immediate offer. At this stage, there is no agency. The agency comes when you list the property with us. This is a solution for your sellers to help them out. Again, this is about certainty, flexibility, and convenience for your sellers. So at this particular stage, we might ask you to do a ministerial act, which would be like letting us in for an inspection if the seller is not home. But other than that, there is not an actual agency agreement. There will be an inspection contingency, and that's why we want as many pictures and as many details as possible. That inspection, we are not nitpicking. We are looking for safety concerns and we are looking for system issues, so system failures. These are things that a normal buyer is going to find in the inspection on top of all the other things a normal buyer is going to ask for. So once we get past that inspection contingency, whenever the seller wants to close, you're gonna let us know what that preferred date is. They're gonna work with the closing coordinator, go to the title company, sign the documentation, just like a normal closing. I don't know if you guys do attorneys in your states or not. We do here. I'm not sure how it is there. After we purchase the home, it's gonna go into our inventory. So you are going to work with the asset manager in the reload department, and you're going to tell us what we should do to get the house market ready. Because again, we're going to put the funds in to get the house market ready. If you think that there's, some carpeting, some shag carpeting from the 1940s that could be taken out and replaced with laminate flooring to raise the price, 15 grand, we'll definitely consider that. And we want to know that. You will get paid then, obviously your listing and commission. It's just like a normal sale, except we're the seller. Then you will get paid your listing and commission because you will be our agent working for us, and we have that resale fee held for you. So if the seller takes the lock option, there's a listing addendum that's signed. That listing addendum just states that, they're obviously listing the home with you. If they choose to go with our immediate offer before that agreement is up, that listing agreement is then canceled, and we will go directly to purchase the home from the seller. And this whole process is the exact same, just a different way of getting there. So benefits to the seller, it's safe, it's convenient, it's certain, it's fast. It's a no worry process. They don't have to get the home market ready. They don't have to worry about showings, open houses, getting people out. They're ready to move on to whatever the next phase of their life is, whether that be a next transaction. If they're looking for another home, they're a more ready, willing, and able buyer. For you as agents, it's your sign in the yard, your advertising, better, faster sale for you. We are very motivated and we're not emotional. We're not moving into the property, nor do we have any emotional attachment to it. But the number one thing is you remain central to the whole transaction. You're the one, no matter what direction your seller chooses to sell, you're the one that helped them sell the home. So whether that's traditionally or with an immediate solution, you brought them that. So we want them with their next transaction to use you or to refer you to all of their friends and family and to remain their agent for life. I see I have a question, so I'm going to pause here. In the lock situation, if they decide to take the offer part way through the listing, do they decide at that point when the closing date will be 14 days minimum still? I don't know if they could close sooner than that. I think it would still be 14 days because we need to get the title and everything. But usually if they take the lock option, we still do the inspection. We try to do the inspection still. So if they do decide to take our offer, we try and do it sooner than later, because then if they do decide to take our offer, we want to be ready to close sooner than later. So I would think it would still be 14 days minimum, just because we would have to, get that title work. And I don't see any world where that would happen in under 2 weeks. But yeah, they'd still get to choose their date. They would just be accepting the immediate offer. And then again, the steps are the exact same. So hopefully that answers your question. Awesome. Do we buy new construction? I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't. I wouldn't think a builder would want to sell to us because they're probably trying to make top dollar. We would buy new construction as long as there's other new construction homes that have sold that we can compare to that property. So, I mean, yeah, we would buy new construction, but as long as we have comps and conforming properties to support a most likely sale price. If there's a subdivision of new construction and nothing has sold within a year, we probably would not purchase that. And it can't be listed as well. So Sandy Beck asked, is there a certain title company that you use, and is there a certain specific inspection company? Yes, and not a specific inspection company, but we have a nationwide inspection company who refers us to different the areas that we have. As far as title companies, yes, because we always use Morielli and Brady as our attorneys, and they have relationships with different title companies who are familiar with our process because it's very similar to a relocation process. So they choose our title companies. We don't have anything to do with that. Our attorney handles all of that. So to answer your question, yes. Okay, any other questions before I go over kind of the marketing? Okay, if you do, just type them in the chat and I will pause. So these are our marketing tools. I don't want to spend too much time on this because yours are in the process of being branded. But I will show you the agent portal just so you can see it. This is the agent portal I'm going to send you the link to. This is going to be in a follow-up email that I will send you with my contact information. So the quick buy guide, this is something you can leave, put in your leave with sellers, put in your listing presentation, bring to open houses. It just goes over the immediate offer, the quick buy lock, and the lease back, and kind of gives you a little detail on what those are. I'll send this to you in that follow-up email. And then if you come back to the agent portal, the access marketing material. So again, I think they're creating these branded already to you guys, but I will show you what we offer. So we have print ready postcards. You can download and customize them to yourself and your brokerage. We have social media images if you guys are good on social media. And we have print ready flyers as well. So if you guys do any mailers or anything like that, this is perfect for you to use. If you want to target builders, which I would recommend doing because their buyers are your sellers, and there's no one else in your area that can offer these solutions. So targeting home builders, I would 100% do. This is a video that shows you how to customize the ads. It's about 2 minutes long. And then if you come down here, the QuickBuy badges, and I'm going to send you, so you don't need to worry about those. There's an agent press release, so you can copy and paste this and fill out your, local information and send it out to your database, sphere of influence. And then there's some drip campaigns. You guys can literally just copy and paste and put on automated drip campaigns as well. So I'll send you the link to this, but it's just fun to play around with those agents. Just some of the ads I just showed you that you can use as well. And then we do, again, we offer additional training. I have a marketing training, and then I have a more advanced training that I am actually going to be there next week. Like I said, on Tuesday for the sales meeting, I'll be working from the office if anyone has questions. And then Wednesday morning, we're doing a marketing training at 9, and then a more advanced training that only I would recommend only coming if you're certified, but it's really going to be doing a deep dive into the numbers, feeling comfortable with delivering these options and explaining these options to sellers. We've gotten a ton of positive feedback on this, and it's left agents feeling much more comfortable about presenting these options and understanding the numbers. So please, everyone, come to that. We'll have breakfast as well. And it's at 9, and then the advanced one is at 10:15. I send out monthly news updates to Jay. He should send those all out to you. And then we have a quick buy open forum every 4th Thursday at 2 o'clock your time, because you guys are CST. And that is when we just kind of do whatever our quick buy monthly topic is. We do Q&A, we do role play, more just like a fun hour-long training that we do. These are the quick buy badges. So I'll send these to everyone on the call. What I would recommend doing with this, so you've out of sight, out of mind, copy and paste it and put it in your email signature. Because agents send out hundreds of emails a day, hopefully not a day, because that would be a lot, but agents send out a ton of emails, every week. If you have it in your email signature, people are going to see those and ask you about it because they're going to be curious what it is. I would do a social media ad and just say, hey, look what, I just got, I'm certified quick buy agent. Just start advertising right away. Doesn't cost you anything. So I'll pause here while I look at the chat, but these are the QR codes. So if you guys want to download the app, I'm going to pause here for 20 seconds and I'll see what's in the chat. Oops. Sorry. No. Sorry, guys. Okay. How long has this been around? Us in particular, or the iBuyers? So our quick buy started, so quick buy started about 2.5 years ago. We've obviously been iBuying for a longer time than that, but this actual program where we partnered with brokerages started about 2 years ago. So been around since we started this. We have made everything so much easier for agents. The app right now is just so easy to use. We used to have it online, and we've really smoothed out all the processes to make it as easy as we can for agents to use. But about 2.5 years. Okay, so I will keep moving on, but we've been iBuying for 12 years. So, I mean, just with this particular program, 2.5. Yep. Okay, so I will move on. So I know you guys can listen to me all day talk about how great we are, but I will share a agent and his experience with us with you, because it always helps to hear from peers.
Hey, I'm Kerry B., a real estate agent here in Indiana. And guys, it is true. QuickBuy really is a lead generator tool. My QuickBuy so happened just like they talk about in the trainings. I marketed my immediate offer solutions, and a couple contacted me because they needed a quick sale on their current home so they could buy their dream home. More specifically, they had already found a custom home that they wanted to build, and the builder was the one who told them they needed to find either a cash buyer or someone who could buy their home fast so they could get the equity from their home to help put the down payment on their new custom built home. You know, the sellers contacted me, I contacted QuickBuy, and not only did they sell to QuickBuy, but we were able to do a lease back so my sellers did not have to do a double move. You know, it was a win-win for everybody. For me, the QuickBuy app was truly easy to use, and the staff was very helpful and efficient in the entire process. I would highly recommend that you utilize QuickBuy in your practice.
Awesome, we thank him for that. Okay, so moving on. So agent trainings, again, we have 3 trainings. We have the certification training, we have the marketing training, and then we have the deeper dive into the numbers and offer delivery and seller presentation. The app is super easy to use. I'm going to send you a video on how to see someone entering a property from start to finish in that follow-up email. So please don't submit any test properties. Our asset managers spend a lot of time. They spend, hours working on properties once they get one sent in. So we don't want to take them away from the homes that are actually trying to get offer packages. You have marketing material access, and they should be customized on your intranet. I'm just not exactly sure. So you'd have to ask your marketing department about that if you want already pre-branded ones. Monthly ads and articles, I do send those out to your leadership, and they should be forwarding them to you guys. Use this as lead generation. The main thing to take away from this is no one else in your area can offer this. You can provide something that no one else can. So whether you do social media videos, whether you pay for, marketing, whether you door knock, cold call, whatever you do, open houses, this is just a lead generation tool. So use that and close more business. Coaching, I find that agents a lot of times need, coaching and support. So if you guys need help on anything, or you just want to, chat with me about, anything to do with the program, you can call me. I'm your account manager, and you'll have my information after today. And then quality assurance, we really pride ourselves on customer service and being there to support you guys. The more successful you guys are, the more successful the company is, and the more successful other agents are. So we want to help you utilize these options, and so you really feel comfortable and understand it, and can use it to help sellers and build relationships. So this is my last slide. So on average, we got this information from NAR, Bloomberg, and Zillow. Agents' typical capture rate when they're going on listing presentations, which I was actually pretty shocked, is about 40 to 45%. So that's the national average. That's under 50% with your average agent. We ran the numbers on the offers that we sent out. So obviously, if we sent out an offer to an agent, that means they presented these solutions to a seller because they had to have gone in their house, taken the pictures, and then submitted them on the app. So of the offers that we sent out, we tracked all those properties, and 79% of the agents took the listing, whether it be traditionally, which is most of the time what sellers are going to choose to do, or went with an immediate or a lock option. So that's an increase of about 35 to 40%, which is amazing to us. So just by presenting, just having these options, you're going to increase your chance of capturing those listings when you're going on these appointments. Ambassador in particular, you are the only brokerage we are offering this to. Part of the reason we are coming out here is to promote this program. If you present these options to your sellers and the seller goes at any time with our immediate offer, you will get paid, when you get paid your commission, an extra $1,500 from us. So it's nothing but a win-win. And again, you guys are the only brokerage who we're offering this to right now. So that is all I have for today, but essentially our partnership is the expertise of an agent, which is you guys, and then plus the convenience of immediate solutions, which is QuickBuy. So with that, I will stop sharing. And does anyone, before I let you guys go, have any questions for me? And you can unmute or in the chat, or if no one does, then I can let you guys get on with this lovely day. None right now? I see one question from Leah. Can we put our very on social media? I would definitely put your certificate on social media because people will be like, what is that? And then you can explain it to them. But yeah, that's like the number one thing I would do is put it in your email, and then whatever social media platforms you're on. Yeah, we want you to promote this. And not necessarily just QuickBuy. We want you to promote yourself that you can provide these solutions and you're QuickBuy certified. Because again, we're in the background. But yes, use it all over. So, and I hope you do. And yeah, so if no one else has any questions, I'll let you guys go, but I appreciate everyone being here and listening to me. And I hope to see you guys next week at the company sales meeting, and also for the trainings on Wednesday. So come and get some breakfast, and thank you so much. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Have a good day, everyone, and hopefully see you all next week. Thank you. Thanks for all the things.